Hey, what's up, y'all? I want to talk a little bit about my Boresight guns. Just kind of give you a little overview about them, what makes them special, why I like them. It's a little bit hard to make a major purchasing decision about something like this without ever seeing something, or better yet, getting your hands on it. So I'll do the best I can here. The extensive menu of options that is on offer is also can be pretty overwhelming if you don't know what you're looking at. So hopefully this gives you some guidance. I have two of these guns set up nearly identically, not quite. The chief difference being that the second one is a Gen 5 MOS, which makes some of the options incompatible and unnecessary, and I'll highlight that where the difference is where appropriate. I've been carrying one of these guns for over 2 years now, and I really think it's the way to go. Let me start from the top. This is the older gun that I'll be showing you. This is a Gen 4 34. Modified as a duty series signature hybrid build from Boresight. Starting at the top, we have the slide milling. There are plenty of shops that do that. It's par for the course these days. But you'll see things that have now even been incorporated into things, from the factory, like the front serrations and the rounded nose here on the slide. Things that are on the Gen 5 gun already. Fairly standard. Now we'll go down here and we'll start talking about the framework, which is what really sets this apart. The heart of this thing, to be honest with you, is the grip reduction that you see here and the Razorback, which is this hump up here. What this does is this facilitates a higher, deeper grip on the pistol, which to me is everything. It also negates the need for something like a beaver tail. You don't need the bulk, but you can still stay out of the path and avoid the slide bite. This is a level 2 reduction, which, as you can see, is fairly substantial. It absolutely eliminates the Glock hump, and the gun is almost it's pretty thin, really, compared to what it started out as. I feel like this combination just allows me a really good crush grip, 360 degrees around, more positive control, better recoil management, and the thing just points naturally now. Almost very 1911-like. Has a lot of things going for the 1911. It's very ergonomic. People like it. It's also not the most reliable gun. So this is kind of the best of both worlds. From here, we will go in and around the trigger guard. And one of the things that you will see here is just a lot of smoothing and a lot of relief. Less opportunity for you to drag the frame while you're manipulating the trigger. More room to get in there if you need to use gloves, something like that. And let's see, so onto the trigger. We are dealing with an Apex shoe. It is not completely flat, not really curved either, just slightly. I like it. It is connected to a polished trigger bar, and also a properly fitted, not a drop-in, Ghost minus connector. It gives it a pretty decent trigger pull. It's still a Glock. It is what it is. It's not going to blow your mind, but again, to me, it's not the most important part of this pistol. It just works. Again, difference being the Gen 5. The Gen 5 is identically setup, but I will say that the trigger feels noticeably better. It's just a thing. Anyway, next we have an undercut here. Relieves that notorious Glock knuckle that everybody talks about, and it facilitates a higher grip. Going up here, we are dealing with a second undercut and this indexing point or texturing. I personally didn't find it to be all that worthwhile. Didn't elect it on the second gun. Let's see. Up here, going forward, we have frame index points, both sides. They give you just a little bit of purchase and exert some downward control. Basically a milder, more practical sort of gas pedal. I like them. The magazine release is reverse scalloped, and what it does, again, it just provides a little bit of relief and less interference when you're pushing it out. I like that as well. Frankly, more than anything, it just is aesthetically pleasing, so I went for it. The stippled texture throughout, I believe to be the medium. I find it to be more than sufficient, and I really like an aggressive, grippy texture. That's kind of personal and subjective, I guess, but just give you something to go off of. The magwell. Let's talk the magwell. So people love to bolt magwells on these things. They tend to kind of get bulky. Some of them are just expensive. To me, this is really the best option. It is integral, adds no bulk. And as you can see, it is nice and beveled, flared, and it really just works. Gives you a lot of forgiveness with the reload. And if you pay attention and you look at a Gen 5, one of the things you'll see is they more or less kind of copied this. Not quite as good, but it's fine. Makes it unnecessary. So if you're starting with a Gen 5 pistol, you don't need this modification. And yes, seriously, it is called Your Mom. URMOM. It stands for something, I don't know what. It's hilarious. I will never be mature enough to not laugh at that. So, you know, whatever, deal with it. So, in summary, they're both great pistols. You can probably save yourself a lot of money by just starting with a Gen 5. You'll wind up with a better barrel, better trigger. I don't love Glocks, but I want to like them. They have a lot to offer if you can deal with some of the issues. And a build like this addresses most of them for me. So that's a pretty big deal. Something that I think is well worth it. Hopefully this guide does something for you. It's been a little bit of a learning experience and trial and error for me to figure out. I can maybe shortcut that for you. Thanks.